wanted to talk to you about immigration. I mean, you spend a lot of time in the UK. You've seen what's been happening across the English Channel, and you're uniquely positioned because you were in the middle of the Tampa affair. Two things here. Does the new Labor PM Steer have any appetite to secure the borders? I mean, is he going to get tough on this stuff?
Well, it's a bit like the election of the Rudd government after the Howard government. They abandoned the offshore processing scheme we'd set up in Nauru, and what Starmer has done is abandon the Rwanda plan, which was a plan for offshore processing as well, to provide a disincentive for people to cross the channel, courtesy of people smugglers. So he will find that they will continue to come in large numbers, and he'll have to start thinking again about how to stop that. But yeah, I mean, there are two things about immigration. One of them is it's not that they're against immigration, they want to have regulated and controlled immigration. And in the UK, it's been pretty uncontrolled in recent years. And secondly, they want migrants, when they come to the country, to integrate into the country and to adopt the basic values of the country. And the Conservatives weren't very successful in dealing with that issue either. You saw the Labor Party vote was only 34%. They lost 5 seats. The 5 seats that the Labor Party lost in an election that they won were seats that were won by independent Muslim candidates, Muslim activists, who were campaigning against the Labor Party's policy on Gaza. And so this is a dangerous thing. And you've seen not the same, but similar issues in France as well, and Germany and Italy and the Netherlands and so on. And unless European countries, and for that matter, the United States, where I am at the moment, get on top of these issues, they'll find that more and more people will defect to populist political movements which are determined to try to integrate migrants and stop illegal immigration. I mean, that's the key to it all.
Yeah, and I think Anthony Albanese is going to face a similar problem, Alexander, with the potential of some Muslim independence in our next election. Just before you go, can I ask you about the NATO summit in Washington, D.C.? You would have worked closely with NATO in your time when you were Foreign Minister. How important is that alliance that it holds together, given what we're witnessing in Ukraine from Russia?
Well, it's the single most important of all the Western alliances, and it's critically important that they show a sense of unity, and in the context of Ukraine, show a determination to support not just the Ukrainians, but to make sure the Russians are defeated, because that will send a message to other countries which are determined to undermine the position of the West. Iran, of course, with all its surrogates in the Middle East, Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthis, and so on. They are just Iranian surrogates. And also, most importantly to us, China, to make sure China understands that whilst the West is happy to collaborate with China and work with China, it will not tolerate China acting in a way which uses its political and economic weight and military weight to change the status quo. And so the NATO alliance is very important in that context. And I mean, they're all saying the right thing, but they have to make sure, all of the members, that they spend sufficiently on defence, that they provide defence support to the Ukrainians, and that there is a sense of harmony amongst them.
Alexander Danner, always a pleasure to catch up. Thank you very much.
It's a great pleasure.